Shipyards that produce in series usually have homogeneous ranges with larger or smaller models that all have the same philosophy. However, each shipyard has its bestseller. Salona's bestseller is its 37, and the name of this boat is proof. Even though the shipyard doesn't produce a large number of boats, it has already produced 100 models. In fact, the model that we'll be presenting today is called Numero 100. In 2007, it won the European Competition Boat of the Year for its category. That's a very exclusive competition that awards prizes to the very best boats. Let's go and see why it won. The reason is quite simple. It's simple to explain, but not simple to obtain. This might be one of Salona's most balanced and best-built boats because of its nature. It's a very livable boat, both on deck and inside, but also because of its performance. Imagine. Vertigo, a standard model that's only been built in vinyl ester, recently won the 670 class of the Coppa del Re, one of the most competitive of regattas. The design process of the 37 is no different from that of the other Salona models. The J&J studio was used for the projects and Maurizio Cossuti did the optimization aimed at the racing aspect. However, the 37 has something special about it, both in terms of performance and aesthetics. Despite the excellent habitability, the whole hull deck house is particularly well balanced and successful, making it one of the most elegant, fast cruisers on the market. In line with the other models, the standard 37 is a sandwich of polyester with structural steel spider drowned in fiberglass. However, this fast cruiser has the possibility of upgrades with an infused lamination of vinyl up to the IBC version that's lightened and fully equipped for racing. Its extreme versatility can already be seen by analysing the cockpit. We're now showing you the cruising layout, which offers this bench that closes behind the cockpit but leaves a lot of space. With a quite simple step here, we release two automatic elements underneath. It can be lifted. And when we're using the boat in a regatta, or when we want this area to be entirely open, it can be completely freed up, and we have an area that can be used as a sun deck. The stern is open, and the lack of benches offers the possibility of opening an area that, although it's smaller than typical lockers under the seats, it's much more practical because it offers the chance to use the whole area without having to climb inside. Moving towards the bow, you can see the positioning of the trast, which is directly resting on the bottom. This doesn't create any kind of hindrance when you pass around the wheel, and also works well when manoeuvring in sailing or in regatta. Among others, this conformation lets the helmsman completely control the mainsail. Moving toward the bow, we see that this layout of the boat offers the chance to have a locker here, which can hold an inflatable craft. It's a very large peak. The cockpit is also very large, offering plenty of room for a crew while manoeuvring the boat. That's quite a traditional thing, because all of the manoeuvres are forwarded to the mast. I'd also like you to notice that the modelling on the Salona builds is extremely professional in the sense that all the equipment in the wheelhouse is nice and refined. Salona has always used large and very handy side decks, and the 37 is no exception. Indeed, the setup of the deck house offers free side decks that are enriched with wooden gunwales. Here you can see that the spray hood has a cart which then wraps in everything, even when it's not used, so it's not cumbersome. The chain plates are inside. That's another piece of evidence that this boat is sporty. These are, of course, predominantly cruise boats, and therefore they offer an overlapping genoa. This is important and crucial because it allows for navigation without the use of a mainsail. The setup of the deckhouse, with skylights that provide a great deal of roominess here. The bow holds an aggressive-looking control station, completely built-in jib winders, access to the anchor lockers, which is quite limited, even though there's plenty of space here for the chain. A glance under the deck and you get an idea why the boat has become a bestseller. There's lots of space, just the right amount of light and height and functional ergonomics. There are practically no errors here. Even the style, the aesthetics, are more than pleasing. Look at the mapping table, which is nice and large and a well-studied table with a regular shape and some room for the electronics in this area, the electric panel, which can be completely opened and leaves more space for electronics. But even the fact that the opening goes from here to there gives the chance for a plotter in this area. On the opposite side, the kitchen is L-shaped and has room for storage. There are 3 drawers, deep shelves. The refrigerator has the problem that the opening isn't hinged, so that's a wee bit small, but it has decent volumes. Then there's some storage under the sink with 2 openings. Garbage can be mounted here, and so it's in solidarity with the door. One of the most interesting and most carefully thought out areas of the Salona 37 is the dinette. Just look at its size. These benches are more than 2 meters long, and then the back of the bench can be lifted so that it can be fixed up here with these belts. So we get 2 beds here for the unexpected guests, with 2 beds underneath that are almost double beds. And that's not all. There's also a solution for removing the shelves so that the boat is lighter when used in regattas. These screws are undone and the whole shelf is virtually removed. So there are plenty of solutions to make this boat a multi-purpose. The table isn't fantastically stable. However, it's reasonably well-sized and is solid. A bit complicated to open, but when it is opened, it's a nice table where up to 6 people can sit. Continuing along the theme of versatility, the interior of the Salon 37 has 3 versions with substantial differences between them, from the most comprehensive and roomy, 3 cabins and 1 bathroom at the bow, a cruising boat with 2 cabins and 2 bathrooms with very complete bathrooms, up to the lightest, 2 cabins and 1 bath on the stern. In the 3-cabin version, the rooms aren't big enough, even if they still do have a decent level of habitability. In particular, the forward cabin has a bed that is a little shorter on the side because of the bathroom, and even the treading is smaller. The bathroom can be accessed from the cabin and from the wardrobe. The 2 aft cabins, which are twin cabins, have a decent amount of space and good-sized beds. However, they're a bit smaller than the version with the 1 cabin, where the bulkhead has been moved to the starboard. Just like the other models, the wood of the 37 is mahogany, but teak can also be used, and by virtue of the recent acquisition of the carpentry by the Yacht, different types of woods and different colours of woods can also be used. Just like its general setup, even the sailing boat version of the 37 proves to be one of the best Salonas ever built, enough to deserve, in its category, the title of European Yacht of the Year 2007. The boat moves in perfect cruiser racer style. It has excellent performance levels in all of its trimming, and it gives us sincere and safe movement, with reactions that are never sudden or unforeseeable. On the other hand, the IBC version has a lighter hull, and the sailing appendage plane is improved for racing. It's already shown great results in good level competitions, and has already won the 670 class in the famous Coppa del Re. Feedback's good at the helm, although sensitivity doesn't reach the lofty levels of some of the direct competitors. The helmsman has a comfortable position with the chance to sit upwind, resting a foot on the pedestal. From this position, the mainsail is controlled well, but the 6-1 traveller for the hoist rope can be difficult with a strong wind. The starting price is just over 120,000 euros, and that's in line with direct competitors, although we believe that this boat can be compared with boats of superior quality. So if you analyze it in detail, well, that's quite a reasonable price. Our in-depth examination of the quality and performance of the Salona 37 will not only confirm the general rating that this boat has on the market. In fact, it's a beautiful boat aesthetically, and at the same time it's very practical and balanced in all its parts. It's been able to solve all the problems that it's had to face. Surely, one of the most interesting players on the market for fast cruisers is this, the Salona 37-footer.